Hey, well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. God bless, God bless. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Well, today I want to discuss liabilities and very little assets. And liabilities are things that you spend a whole lot of money on that doesn't bring you back no money in return. Liabilities is when you spend money, like let's say, for example, now you buy these Louis Vuittons, you're buying Nike expensive sneakers, extremely expensive sneakers, and you're buying Chanel's, and you're spending money on these brand names. Nothing wrong with buying quality, but you're consistently spending money on these brand names, making the people more rich. The people that you're buying this from, the companies that you're buying it from, you're making them more rich, and you're leaving yourself with no money in return. Like people like to spend money on, when you go to the gas station, you ever see people lined up to spend money on the lottery, like buying lottery tickets? Listen, I used to do the scratch and win, then I stopped when I learned about stocks. You're better off investing in stocks than buying lottery tickets. The average American spend $200 to $300 a month in lottery tickets, just buying lottery tickets. And you're most likely to win the lottery is extremely slim. Extremely slim. There's millions and billions of people playing the lottery, but your chance of winning the lottery is extremely slim. Extremely slim. Now, and that doesn't bring you financial freedom as well either. Another thing that's a liability. Going and spending money on, going out to restaurants and spending money on going to expensive restaurants, and every week you find yourself buying food out instead of cooking food from your home or bringing school. If you're working and you have a job, the best thing to do is to go to the supermarket, buy your food, prepare it the night before, and bring it to work. It's the cheapest way to save you money instead of spending money in restaurants every week or buying out food every week. That will leave you broke, and that's bringing you further away from your financial freedom and not having that time freedom. So watch how you spend. And it's easy because sometimes you're out, when you're busy, you're out, and sometimes you have no time to cook at home. There's a lot of us that live like that. And it's tough because sometimes we got to watch our pockets, especially with these inflation times that we're living in. We got to watch how we spend. Another thing, I'm going to discuss stocks. So before I go into the next topic about what's a liability, I'm going to talk about stocks. And the stocks I know that are profitable, that will help you, and I'm going to leave some links down in the description, is Charles Schwab. That's another stock. You can buy Apple stock. You can buy many stocks. And I use that to invest in stocks. Charles Schwab platform. You can buy Apple, Walmart, Listerine, Colgate. These are things that you use every day on a daily basis. So why not? And Facebook, Meta Facebook. That's a stock in Facebook too as well. And Twitter. You can invest in these stocks and make income. You make income from these stocks when you invest in the stocks. There's another stock platform called Webull. You put 5 cents and then you can make money from all the stocks that you invest. Yes, I know about stocks because I've been investing in stocks for at least 2 years now. And it's helped me out a whole lot. When I needed the money to take out, I just call it and then just take the money out, and it's helped me. It's better than a bank. Your money grows. Yes, it goes up and down. That's business. But your money grows in stocks. It's better than a bank. So think about it. Investing in stocks is important. So let's say if you're buying Nike, why not buy a Nike? Why not buy a stock in Nike? You're buying expensive shoes in Nike. Buy a stock in Nike. Why not? And you're going to Walmart consistently, why not invest in a stock in Walmart? Which I did. Or you're using the toothpaste called Colgate. Buy a stock in Colgate. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta use our money wisely and spend wisely. We gotta spend our money wisely. And the next thing that's a liability is expensive cars. Financing expensive cars that you gotta pay once you finance a vehicle, you gotta spend $200 to $400 per month just to finance a vehicle. Why not buy a vehicle that can get you from point A to point B? A reasonable vehicle, especially if you're making 50 to 60,000 a year and you're living 70,000 a year and you're living in an expensive city. Why not be humble yourself? Instead of spending $400 per month just to finance that vehicle, why not buy a vehicle that's a reliable vehicle that can get you to point A to point B? And that can, by use financing that vehicle, it can put you in a financial hole, especially if you're struggling to make ends meet. That's considered a liability. Expensive restaurants, buying lottery tickets, and buying expensive clothing. It becomes a liability. It doesn't become an asset to you because you're spending more and you're not getting back any money in return. That becomes a liability. Yeah, man. And there's other things that are liabilities too, but we got to know how to spend our money too as well. And a lot of us too, some of us don't have bank accounts, so we go to the cash checking place. You go to the cash checking place and you're spending money every time to cash your check, every time you get paid. And that's taking money out of your hard-earned money. Why not open a bank account? There's some banks that they won't take money out. As you go to the ATM, they won't take a fee out when you have a bank account. Why go to the cash checking place and cash your check and they're taking money out your check? That becomes a liability because now your hard-earned money, and that adds up. It may take a little bit of funds out every time you cash your check, but that adds up as well, and that becomes a liability. Ladies and gentlemen. Another thing too is expensive vacations, traveling consistently, and once a month. There's people that once a month they go on vacation, lavish vacations. That's eating away your money. Why not just say once a year you go on a nice vacation? Everybody deserves a vacation. But if you're not to your financial goal, and you're not reaching your financial goal, and you're taking lavish trips, if that becomes a liability because you're not spending your money wisely. And God wants us to spend our money wisely. He wants us to have money in our pocket as well. So why not invest in yourself and invest in programs that can allow you to reach your financial stability, and maybe one day work for yourself, and maybe one day quit that job or retire that job that you dislike. Why not invest in yourself? And certain things that become assets to you. Invested in stocks. I'm gonna leave the description for Charles Schwab and Webull, the hashtags down in this description. I'm gonna leave that. And also, and maybe looking into business, maybe business online. I'm not talking about crypto. Maybe a business online that can possibly, when you get your income tax and you invest in a business online, that could possibly get you to reach your financial freedom. There's all types of opportunities out there, like YouTube. You can invest in YouTube without showing your face and not using your voice, and that can possibly allow you to become a financial growth. It become an asset, and it can help you grow your stream of income that way. Also, And what's another liability that people spend on and people are not careful with? Oh, buy an expensive home, trying to purchase an expensive home. You know you can't afford it, but you're paying a hefty mortgage. Or you need a place to live, but get into an apartment that's overly priced. And we know when you live in an expensive city, that's possible. That's possible. Why not move to a location or relocate to a place that is reasonable for your pockets? Do your research if you're looking for work. And those things that can become liabilities too. Overexpend yourself with homes. But when you can buy off a home, when you can buy off a home, all you gotta do is pay taxes. And no longer becomes a liability. It becomes an asset because you can pass that real estate or that home that you own down to your child, or invest in a property that has multiple rooms in that property or multiple apartments in that property, and that becomes an asset. Or what else is an asset? I said stocks, that's an asset. I said a business, that could become an asset. A business, that's an asset. So they have more liabilities than assets. And we got to be careful how we spend our money, especially in these times where the cost of living is extremely high. We got to be very careful how we spend our money. So watch how you spend your money as far as like expensive restaurants, going after week. That's a liability. Buying expensive clothes, shoes, and you're going every month, every few months, you're buying expensive clothes and shoes, that could become a liability. That's not bringing you no money. Expensive restaurants, I said that before. Expensive restaurants and lottery tickets. Spending money on lottery tickets. Well, this is Zacchaeus coming to you with another live word of the day. And the live word of the day is coming out of Proverbs chapter 10, verses 4. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. Well, this is Zacchaeus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. And peace and blessings. God bless.